Cool. Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm just gonna I roll my presentations pretty rough, but I'm just gonna give you guys some chat. I don't really have I'm not like an expert or anything. I don't have like a particular skill or anything, but I've got a lot of experience in the saddle of riding an internet company and got a few internet war stories to tell if you want. I'll tell you the good stuff, the bad stuff. I'll tell you anything. I'll give it to you straight. I'm just going to tell you guys some stories basically of winning the internet. And I guess first I must tell you this quick slide. What is Finder? Finder is a comparison site. Basically you go there, you compare stuff, you click this green button and you go onto the provider's site and we get a small fee. And it's a free service, but you compare like credit cards, home loans. Anyone heard of Finder before this? Yeah. Anyone can sing the jingle really well? Yeah! We'll talk about that. I got a few comments. I got an email the other day saying, dear whoever the fuck wrote that jingle, can you please take that down? I'm trying to watch my television. It's kind of cool. And we'll talk a bit about that as well. But that's Finder. So we're a very basic service. And what I want to instruct you guys about that and about Finder is that we are not a magical unicorn, some fandangle, special technology. We're not Airbnb, we're not no Uber, we're not like the next UberX of something. We are none of those things. We're a very simple business. We compare stuff, people get a better deal, they tell their mates sometimes, they probably don't tell a lot of their mates. And a lot of these things are not social. We don't do social terribly well. We're kind of antisocial. I'm a bit antisocial myself. And so that presents its challenge, right? No one's going to sit around and talk about the credit card debt altogether, right? We just don't go and do that. So that presents let's talk about, this is the product challenge, right? So what I'm going to tell you about is some do's and don'ts of making a sick internet company, right? We're going to start with don'ts because, I don't know, I decided to. And the first thing is, I have a contention that disruption is really, really, really boring. A lot of people, they want to be disrupting this, want to be disrupting that, and all those kind of things. And my contention to you right now is that you don't want to be in the business of disrupting. Disrupting is like boring. It's like everyone's trying to come up with this weird fandangle thing. What you'll notice about Finder is, and we are the case in point, is that we don't disrupt anything. We just execute a very good strategy, and we're that's what we're all about. Our third value of Finder as a business is called Go Live. Go Live means we have a bias to putting things live on the internet. Everyone at Finder knows the values of Finder, which is an unusual trait for a company. Most just sit on the wall and whatever, blah, 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 blah. We use our values as a way to actually make decisions and actually inform what we're going to do. So going live at Finder is what we do every day. And it's written in the chat, it's written in Slack. It's actually got an icon. And it means basically, another thing is we back you at Finder to put things live on the internet. Go for it. Now, we make a lot of mistakes because of that, and we move real quick because of that, but we feel that's kind of one of our advantages. So when, a lot of people are like, oh, disruption's our advantage. We're like this company that's I don't know, we're the next Airbnb of commercial real estate. Yeah, that's a great idea. But we've got something different because we're disrupting ServCorp or Saxons or whatever it may be. Sure, good on ya. But at the end of the day, what actually matters, I don't believe is the disruption, it's about the execution. Fuck disruption. Go and do something. Put something on the internet. Stop talking about it. The second thing I recommend is avoid the noise. Has anyone been, I just came back from New York 3 days ago. So we've got an office in New York, an office in London, Poland and Manila. It's kind of sick. New York's kind of cool, but it is noisy, if anyone's been there. Right? It's real noisy. This is Times Square. Now, my contention to you is that if you are competing in a market which any of those logos are up there, you're fucked. Because those people are ready to take on the noise. They have the dollars, they have the deep pockets, and you don't want to play against those people. They're not fun. Anywhere they're advertising, you're in trouble because they're going to outspend you. You want to systematically avoid the noise of all these places that these things are happening in, because you can't play there. It's not good for you. You're going to get absolutely screwed. So what we try and do at Finder is that we look for places where there is no noise. And what does that mean? It means look for markets which are, that don't have your big bad competitors in them. Look for areas and places where you can hire and get great talent. Look for tactics that potentially all tactics get worn down and become less and less effective over time. Every single tactic does. Go and find a new tactic or somewhere or a place where it hasn't happened yet. Avoid the noise. Go and find the white space. I guess the other thing is, and we'll talk about this, but one thing we try and do is, if you can, which is really hard, but sometimes you can get above the noise. But you've got to be really, really careful. And it's taken us 8 years to get that jingle so that this gentleman at the back can sing that. 8 years. That didn't happen overnight. And in those instances, yeah, we can, I guess, we are a bit of the noise right now. It's kind of cool. Okay, let's talk about black hat with my black hat on and my black t-shirt. I confess, yes, I did some interesting tactics in my past, and I have tried these tactics. I have tried, and we'll talk about it. If anyone wants to come up to me afterwards, I'm not going to talk about them on camera because maybe Google's watching, but Google is watching. But I'll tell you about them, but I want to talk a bit about this. My contention to you is that every brand today started as a black hat. Every single one. And what I mean by that is yesterday's spammer is today's brand. Every brand starts by hacking something, sort of pushing the edge of the rules. Airbnb did it with Craigslist. MySpace was a massive email spammer. Everyone pushes the limit somewhere. And Finder in its past, what I'm trying to tell you is that, yeah, we might have done some interesting, creative SEO tactics. Very creative. And what I want to talk about that as well is, initially it's cool, and you kick ass, and you rank number 1 for credit card and life insurance and home loans. That's fun, and it makes you feel pretty good on the day, for a while when you're up there. But if your tactics aren't sustainable, and you're investing in this as a company, what I found in my personal experience is that we got hurt real hard when we came crashing down. And it's not just about the tactic. It's not about necessarily what happened from that. It's the people that got affected by that. It's the morale. It's the values of the company. It's the belief. It's the great people that turn around and go, oh, I'm not sure if this is actually right. Like, is this company right? Maybe I should leave this company. That's an issue that's going to hurt you further than a marketing tactic that might give you an incremental win or anything like that. My submission to you is you may try these kind of things in the early days if you want, but eventually I strongly suggest you can't build a business on black hat. You just can't. It's not worth it. So I always love people who grow up real fast, get lots of tattoos and do funny things, and it's kind of cool. My submission to you on this is Finder as a business, this is my story, and this might not be the right thing. Some people know how to do this, but we grow slow. We don't grow fast, we grow slow. We take slow, incremental steps. We work fast and we go live often and we do lots of things, but we grow slow. And the reason for that is that if you grow really, really fast, what happens is eventually you grow too fast and you fall over. I'm not good at managing that. I've got too many things going on. And you can push a company and do you guys know how, weed killer? You know, stuff you spray on weeds. The actual way that the weeds are killed is that stuff actually infuses the weed to grow really, really fast, and the cells die. They actually expand and grow and collapse. That's how weed killer works. And my submission to you is, as an internet company, there is nothing wrong with growing slow. In fact, I think that's actually very beautiful. I always look at Finder, like right now, I just came back from the States, and we're at 16 people there right now. And you know, there's 80 people here in Sydney, and it's pretty crazy. But it's a beautiful company over the United States. It's 16 people and everyone knows everyone's name. I know that sounds weird, but I assure you now that once you grow big, moving the Queen Mary is like a big exercise. You gotta go ding, ding, ding downstairs, and the bank goes, hey, we're turning left. Yeah, cool, sweet, let's turn left. Everyone cool to turn left? Yeah, all right, let's turn left. And it takes literally hours to turn, right? As an internet company, stay small, grow slow. Take your time. Take leverage steps to go and actually go and do what you're doing, because I assure you now, once you grow big, everything slows down. And all those tactics and all those things and those beautiful things that were amazing about what you were doing, they don't work as well anymore. So we grow slow. All right, let's talk about some of the things we do, or I suggest you do. The first one is, if you're going to start an internet company, is I submit to you to build from your mastery. This is the fifth value of Finder. It's called master your craft. Master your craft means become number one at what you do. Be the best at what you can do. We believe in personal development. Now, my submission to you is, if you're going to start an internet company or something you're going to do, you probably have a service or a skill or something that you have mastered. Now, mastery takes, people talk about it, that takes 10,000 hours, or some people talk about it taking 7 years. 7 years of an apprenticeship to truly master a craft. How good are you at SEO? Like, how actually good are you? Can you rank number one for the keyword mortgage? How good are you at email marketing? Can you get a payday loan email through Hotmail, Gmail, and Yahoo and get it delivered? How good are you? Have you mastered something? If you have mastered something, truly mastered something, I submit to you to use that to make your internet company. My story of that is, I basically took creditcardfinder.com.au and I registered it, because I basically got the keyword list of all credit cards, and it was the 6th most popular keyword that people typed in, and I went and registered it. So creditcardfinder.com.au became the brand. And lo and behold, now that's turned into Finder, but that took a long time, right? So I launched that because in those days, keyword domains ranked really well, if anyone remembers that. James is laughing. And essentially then, we basically took that, and what I worked on and what I mastered was actually me going into WordPress, physically writing articles, building links, and truly mastered SEO. Actually got keywords and rankings to rank. Now, you probably do this for your clients. I feel bad if I'm actually pitching to people here right now that have clients, but you're gonna have to deal with that yourself. This is my story, and this is what you can learn from this. And it doesn't have to be SEO. It can be all sorts of actual things that you master. Different people master all sorts of things. So you look at, I don't know if anyone knows Bobbi Brown, the makeup. You know, the girls in the room might, but the guys probably won't. But Bobbi Brown is a makeup. Now, Bobbi Brown herself spent 8 years in New York being a makeup artist and getting paid almost nothing for it. And one day, she was trying to do the makeup. She broke through and started doing Vogue magazines and all those kind of things. So one day when she was doing that, she actually said, oh, I can't get this right color. So she went home and she made a palette of different colors. That night she went out, she met this, for no apparent reason, met a chemist. And she said, yeah, I've been making these things. And they had this conversation. She said, oh, well, I make stuff. She's like, cool, well, you reckon you could make me some makeups I could potentially use? She's like, yeah, I can make that. So she went and made these makeups, right? Then she went and took that and she actually produced that into a line and sold the makeup that everyone always wanted. It's the skin colors. No one could actually do that. But that's because she mastered the craft of makeup. So your mastery of your sick internet company, whatever it is, your mastery, it is going to help you make a sick company. I assure you now. Build from that. Learn from that. Take that and score the try. Make that the centerpiece of your company. Next thing I suggest, this is pretty harsh, but is I suggest my Y's being cut off here. But technology, basically, it's all about taking it in-house. This is Isaiah at Finder, and he's a graduate who joined us. And the reason I say this is Isaiah started at Finder with absolutely nothing. He didn't even really know what the word SEO meant. But we grew him and trained him and taught him all the things that we wanted him to know. And he is now a master at all sorts of different things at Finder. But you can't hire a person like Isaiah anymore. He's too specialized. Like we could, someone else here could, but I hope you don't. But my submission to you is just like you want to groom your people and hire and train them, you want to own your technology. Because if you get locked up into some corporate structure or some weird proprietary technology, you know what happens? You can't move, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. I know that's really harsh, probably if I don't know if there's developers in the room or someone who sells relevant technology. But I used to run an agency. I used to run a web development company. That was my first company I sold to a public company. And my job was to lock clients up because they would always spend more money, right? Agencies, unfortunately, sometimes are slightly adversarial to their clients. Apologies to anyone in the room. I didn't mean that, but I'm just being honest, and that's sometimes how it is. And the technology you have and the templates you have and the things that you develop and grow will become the actual foundation stones of the entire company. So from the very, very beginning, build and own your own technology. That's my submission. So a little story. This is me with the #1 Obama impersonator in the world when he was president. So we got him to come over, fly over from LA, and we basically did a stunt. This was us walking through Pitt Street, and people genuinely thought this was like President Obama. And you should see when we had Today Tonight following us around. It was gnarly. And we do a good job at sometimes doing big tactics and things like that. But my submission to you is, instead of doing all sorts of tactics, social, email, all these kind of things, just choose one channel, one marketing channel to begin with. Take that channel and become the best at it for your company. Better, when I say, than your competitors. You don't have to be the best in the market as in all the other people on the internet. You just need to be better than everyone else in your market. But the reason, and particularly the reason why we did this, so at Finder, we obviously started with SEO. SEO was our beginning one. And over time, we've moved on to these are stunts. These are PR stunts. Eventually we've gotten out to TV and mastering that, and email and display and AdWords and Outbrain, and I can talk about all these channels if you want as well, but it all began with one. And that's my submission to you. Just focus on one, because cracking and figuring out social and then also doing your SEO and your email at the same time, it's just too crazy. In the US right now, we have not sent a single email out to a customer. We have not done any paid media. We haven't done any social posts. We've just done SEO to launch that business. That's the United States of America. Do you know how many marketing channels there are there? How many people there are competing for the noise? Still, we choose one channel, we master that, and then we move on. This is us at the launch party. You can see me in I'm actually in an astronaut outfit here. You can find me a picture of that. You can find a picture of me on the internet about that, but this is us launching when we were going to the United States. And I thought all the media were there and, all of our suppliers were there. It was a great party. I thought, oh, this is really gonna make everyone write about us. We're gonna be famous, about going into the US. That didn't really happen. No one gives a fuck. But what did happen is that everyone at Finder wearing a blue shirt came together in the most powerful way I have ever seen a group of people because they felt empowered. That company, they are part of the company that is launching from Australia to the United States. That was the big win. And those people are truly the people in a sick internet company that actually matter. They're the people that make absolute gold happen. And when I talk about absolute winners, there's only 2 ways to get absolute winners. Only 2. Actually, no, there's 3. The first one is, as I said before, you can train a winner. You can go out, you can fire a graduate, you can actually, get them together and you train them, and it's such that investment. They don't understand anything. You're spending so much with them, but eventually they grow up into being what is now at Finder. They are like almost, I guess, the middle management or the middle people who understand everything at Finder. And that took a long investment, maybe 5-6 years. That's the first way you can get a winner. Second way you can get a winner is to buy them. They cost more. Great people cost money, pay them money. They're worth it. People at Finder get paid well. They deserve it. Every dollar that they get, I respect them because they build Finder. It wasn't me. I didn't build Finder. I did not build Finder. There's too many lines of code, too much content, too many things to be done. The people at Finder are winners, and that's what I've always focused on. So you can either train them, buy them, or the third one you can do is you can pray. And I'm not really into the praying business, and it doesn't really work for me. I don't know. Some people are really into that, but that's just never worked for me. So really, there's only 2 ways. Train them or buy them. And that's what I focused on to get the winners into the company. All right, the last thing I think talk about with do's and don'ts is selling a big win. So lots of companies, you get a company up and running and you sell stuff and you make incremental revenue and it's all good and well. You have little products and they're making some money and those kind of things. But the thing I think every single company, every company misses out on is the big ticket item. And what I'm talking about is, let's say you were running, I don't know, some sort of you were selling houses, right? And you had like a really cool house, then you could add on the bathroom and the kitchen, and maybe you put a jacuzzi in. I like jacuzzis. Or you could add like a gym, and it's all cool and well, right? And they have all these little prices and all those kind of things. But what you want is the grand slam big price one. You want the one with all the features, the one that is out of control, because everyone price signals from that. So if you're selling a service or selling a product or whatever it may be, put something there that is the big ticket item. Why do you think they make like Bugattis on the earth? Why do you think they make Bugattis? My contention to you is the reason why they make Bugattis, which cost $1 million, is to price signal that a Mercedes-Benz that costs $100,000 is cheap. Well, it's not a Bugatti. I didn't pay $1 million. They're probably making that Mercedes-Benz for $1,000. They're just smashing those things out. But you think that thing is worth $100,000? That's because the Bugatti cost $1 million. So what is your big ticket item? What is your big win? What's the one you're going to make a shit ton of money from? At Finder, we want them to compare everything. Go and compare all the things. Get into it. That's the big win for Finder. Just keep comparing. Like a squirrel. Most companies, they don't have a big ticket item. They're not making big profit. What's your big win? Oh, we sold. What's the big win? The big profit, the big thing. Make one of those and sell them. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about before we get some questions. I don't know. I'm rolling with this, James, off the cuff. Just my take on the future of internet marketing. I've got 3 things to say about this, and that's it. First thing is, stop doing tactics and start doing strategy. I put a picture of a fish up here, right? It talks about, the idea you can feed someone by giving them a fish, or you can teach them how to fish, and they'll obviously feed themselves. Right now, you're probably doing small tactics that make money and they work. Little tactics, little things that work. But where are you going? that tactic's going to wear out. The tactic's going to fall over and die. It always does. Every single tactic gets worn away. What I submit to you is it's time to start thinking about your strategy. Where are you going in the future? Where are you actually starting to go? Where is this tactic going to go? Why are you doing this tactic? What are you actually building? What is the byproduct you're building? What are you becoming good at? What is the next move? What is the real strategic move that you're going to make? Because if you just keep doing tactics all day, you're going to have to dance around and keep doing tactics. Have a think. Have a real deep think. It's going to take some time. It's really hard. I fucking hate doing this, but sometimes you got to sit down, get some meditation going. I don't know. However you can calm yourself and try and think, okay, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, what are we building up to? And there are normally 4 ways that you can create a strategic advantage. 4 ways. There are lots of ways, but these are the 4 ways I think about, and everyone else has their ideas. The first one is branding. Are you building a brand? Some people are. Brand's real hard these days as well. It's super competitive. Second one's called the network effect. If anyone knows the network effect, it's how PayPal built. If I want to send someone money on PayPal, someone else has to have PayPal. If I'm on WhatsApp, someone else, and I want to send a message to me, they've got to get on WhatsApp. That's the network effect. It starts sprawling things. So start building a network effect. Third one's called proprietary technology. Proprietary technology is like Google, right? When it started out, it just had a better search engine. Everything else was kind of shit. I would say Google advanced that, right? And they probably built a brand afterwards. You go to Google now on instinct and habit. You don't even think about Bing. Bing and Google are probably the exact same technology, but you don't think that anymore. They've won on brand now. Fourth one, strategically to win, is called scale. Outscale your competitor. Amazon just put too many fucking books on the shelf, man. Too many. And I've been to those bookstores that are closed down. It's sad. It's real sad, but they just outscaled everyone. In America, Google Shopping is struggling because people just go straight to Amazon to get a price. They've scaled it so far. They're like my 4 things. Have a think about those. Have a crack. That's my suggestion on the future. Tactics are going to die. Does anyone know this? This place? They're throwing the fish? Anyone been to Seattle? Pike Place? They throw the fish, right? In Pike Place in Seattle, that's where MozCon is, that's how I went. It's kind of cool. There's this one shop, one fish shop. There's like 10 of them all in a row. There's one shop, they're sitting there and they go, what do you want? You want a salmon? No worries, man, here you go. And just throw it out to the person. And they're throwing it out there and they're dancing about it. They're like, hey, what do you want? You want some crabs? All right, crabs? They'll throw a whole crab over at someone or an eel. Now, all these people, right? All these people are looking at these people. They're just selling fish like every 10 other people. But they've mastered the art of getting attention. And my submission to you right now, today, in the future, attention and the deficit and the disorder that we have around all of our notifications, I'm amazed that no one's really dug into their phones yet. That's impressive. Because capturing people's attention is real hard. So I congratulate you on that. But my submission to you is that you need to figure out a way in your business or your tactics and your strategy and your marketing of how you're going to capture people's attention. They need to be compelled not to look at the new Netflix thing, not to look at the next fucking Facebook post, not to look at the next tweet, the new notification. The attention of people is just getting eroded away. Why should you command my attention? Why should I care? Give me something to care about. You need to up the ante on that. And these guys do that. You go down there, there's only one fish shop you go and look at. People are standing around in hordes watching people throw fish around. Come on. That's genius. It's not easy. But you can do it. Third thing I want to say, and it's real hardcore, but I've always been a kind of a bit of a rebel, a bit of a street fighter. I go and do my own thing. And that comes with its challenges. It comes with, being a lone wolf sometimes. But it also builds a good cult following of people who go, hey, that guy's, there's one difference between a crazy person and a leader. The only difference is if the leader has someone else following them. Otherwise, you're a fucking crazy person. Anyone seen that YouTube clip with the one kid, he's standing he's at the festival and he stands there and he's dancing by himself. And then someone just stands up and comes over and starts dancing to them. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, everyone starts dancing, right? My submission to you is that I'm not going to tell you the future. You know your future. And my contention to you right now is to listen to yourself. You have the ideas, they come up all the time, they're there, you just ignore them. You listen to other people tearing you down, you tear yourself down. The actual genius, the gold, and the future of internet marketing is actually already inside you. You have those ideas. And my contention, what I ask of you is to listen to yourself. Truly listen and let yourself go and do those things. And then you can stand up in a black hat and a black top and talk about crazy stories. All right, guys, that's my shtick.